Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to this year's May the 4th special. So, last year I gave you guys a review of Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope. So, the original Star Wars. That's what it's called. Just Star Wars. So, since I did this last year, it only makes sense that this year I would give review of the next Star Wars movie, Star Wars Episode 5, Return. Nope. The Empire Strikes Back. I probably just pissed off a lot of people. This movie is commonly referred to as the best Star Wars movie. Yeah, they're not wrong. There's a lot to admire about this film, and it's far more than what this simple little fun vlog can do. So I might as well just give you some highlights that I have with the movie. For starters, the effects. The effects are really, really good for their time. They weren't good enough for George Lucas, but they're still really good effects. Some of my favorite scenes using the original effects has to be the battle on Hoth. And my favorite scene using the special edition effects are probably going to have to be Cloud City, because Cloud City looks really good in the special edition. I'm not going to lie. So basically, this movie is about Luke leaving his friends from their fight in order to be trained by Master Yoda in hopes to stop the Empire and Darth Vader. A lot of the movie is spent with Luke training with Yoda on Dagobah, and Luke ultimately discovering more things about the way the Jedi and the Force and about himself. I really enjoy Luke's development as a character in this film. He isn't really the whiny kid he was in the first movie, so I'm really enjoying his development here. You can see him gradually becoming a Jedi Master. Speaking of Jedi Masters, of course, Yoda is great. I feel like Yoda is one of those characters that is basically impossible to do wrong, because I can't think of a single bad thing to be done with Yoda outside of making him CG in the prequels. It's like, you put Yoda in it, it's instantly going to be more awesome. Like, the Yoda scene is like the best scene in The Last Jedi. I'm not wrong. A large part to why we really enjoy Yoda is the incredible performance and puppetry by Frank Oz. He truly does feel like he is there. Like, you do believe that that is Yoda. That's not just some dude holding a puppet. You do believe there's Yoda. Okay, you'd think by now I'd learned to silence my phone while filming. All the other characters are a lot of fun too. C-3PO and R2 still work as the fun comic reliefs. Yeah, I really enjoyed the developing romance between Han and Leia. Although I will admit, Han is kind of a dick to Leia. Like, what type of asshole says I know when somebody says I love you? Han Solo. Han Solo. But you know, Han Solo is sort of the likable type of asshole. Maybe wouldn't be the best husband, as we figured out in episode 7, where they didn't end up working out. They had a kid, but they didn't end up working out. And moving on to the new characters, we already brought up Yoda, but we also get introduced to Lando Calrissian, who is awesome. Ernie Hudson's performance is not Ernie Hudson. Oh, God. Not Ernie Hudson. It's not Ernie Hudson. It's Billy D. Williams. I'm confusing my old 80s black dudes from movies released in 83 or 4. Just call it unintentional racism. That's what it is. Oh, crap, I feel terrible. Anyway, Billy D. Williams, that's his name. Really, really good as Lando in this movie. The friendship between him and Han is a really good friendship. I wouldn't say it's as good as Han and Chewie, but it's a really good friendship, I'd say. And you feel just terrible when he ends up betraying them in the end. But it's not like freaking I don't know, DJ in Last Jedi where they just forget about him and move on. Lando does come back to the light side in the end, and you cheer or whatever. And I believe the final new character we have, well, there's two more new characters. One is we get introduced to the Emperor in this film, and we don't get a whole lot of the Emperor. We mainly just see him in hologram form, but he's very sinister, very creepy, and you're like, what does this guy do? This guy's in charge of basically everything. Darth Vader is bowing down to him. This is some serious stuff right over here. And with his cloak, his sinister voice, and his hidden, weird-looking face, you just, wow. And speaking of new characters, let's bring up our final one. That being good old Boba Fett. Now, technically, this is not Boba Fett's first appearance. He did infamously appear in the Star Wars Holiday Special before this, but I don't know. I don't really think that's officially canon or not. So, the lights are freaking out. Let's just say this is his actual first appearance, and Boba Fett looks cool, but he doesn't do anything. It's kind of become a bit of a meme where Boba Fett got super famous from being in these movies, even though he does nothing but stand there, look cool, and then die. Like, Boba Fett is a character who is greatly improved upon in later pieces of Star Wars media, much like friggin' Darth Maul. Took me a minute to remember his name. Darth Maul. Yeah. He's similar to Darth Maul, where later pieces of Star Wars media would really improve his character, such as The Clone Wars and The Mandalorian, and weirdly enough, not his own show, which is odd. But we're not talking about those pieces of media. We're talking about Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and he's fine in this movie. And of course, speaking of stuff that's not fine, let's talk about stuff that is far from fine. The twist ending. The twist ending in this film has gone on to become one of the most famous movie twists in history, and one of the most famous scenes in movie history. It's where Luke and Vader are fighting, and Vader ends up chopping off Luke's hand, and Vader says, "Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father." And Luke says, "You killed my father." And Vader says, "No, I am your father." And everyone in the theater, watching it for the first time in 1980, just went, "What?" Now, it is extremely common knowledge, but when it came out, nobody knew it. Nobody saw it coming. And it was incredible. The twist works amazingly going in for the first time. Today, it's practically a staple that the main villain has some type of relationship with the protagonist, whether they knew each other as kids or whatever, or they're actual family members like in this movie. But back then, okay, to have that happen just out of the blue, have it be the twist, mind-blowing. Especially when there weren't that many clues to begin with. So overall, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, is one of the best sequels ever made. It continues the story rather than tries to copy it. It builds upon the world of Star Wars, and it leaves off with one of the biggest cliffhangers in movie history, with Han being left frozen in carbonite, and the rest of the characters have to save him, and, they all just have to defeat the Empire still. There's a reason why the original Star Wars trilogy is referred to as one of the best movie trilogies ever. And we will be talking about that final installment in the trilogy, Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, sometime next year, maybe May the 4th, but I talked about A New Hope in April last year, so I don't know what's gonna happen when talking about this movie, but anyway, happy May the 4th to everybody. What are you doing to celebrate? You're watching some Star Wars movies, some Star Wars TV shows, maybe some of those Star Wars shorts on Disney Plus, maybe the Simpsons short, or are you watching some Star Wars parodies like Spaceballs, the Robot Chicken specials, or the Family Guy specials? Just happy May the 4th to everybody. Just May the 4th be with you. Don't be one of those shitty Star Wars fans who hate The Last Jedi because Mary sues or whatever. And just love and appreciate all forms of Star Wars. The good and the bad. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified when future videos are uploaded. We are trying to get to 300 subscribers by the end of the year in order to make one giant video about every single SpongeBob video game. So if you want to see that happen, please hit subscribe and the little notification bell right next to it. Anyway, guys, I'll see you later. Bye!